Wonderful people, viewers and subscribers. I'm also Chinedu Peters, the Archbishop Good Governance Ministry, where we deliver Nigerians from wicked and oppressive government, from blood-sucking political class, from never-do-wells who are determined to hold you down under the spell of one Nigeria that is not working. And thanks be to God, I will call it a crusade, but it was called Emeka Anyoku Lecture for Good Governance. And I have to be there. And these are the highlights.
We're here today for the 10th anniversary of Chief Emeka Anyoku Lecture Series. On behalf of the good people of Anambra State, I welcome you all to the peaceful city of Oka.
It is befitting that we celebrate one of our own. But this is not just one of our own, it's one of the most iconic of our own. What is leadership? For me, it was a vision and the volition. So you have the vision ahead of you. Then how do you achieve it? So you identify those who can espouse that vision. And it's not sentimental. You cannot give what you don't have.
All right, good day everyone and gentlemen out there. The question I want to ask is, the young people out there, they have passed a vote of no confidence on the political class now. They have lost confidence in the process and they don't want to participate. How do you restore back their confidence in the process? And secondly, many laws have been passed. We've talked about corruption and what it has done to our society and the economy. We have seen politicians travel abroad for medical treatment while our medical system here is being shut down. We have seen all our people passing through in penury and the issue of insecurity, which is being bred by unemployment and uneducation and trying to exclude the young generation from having access to livelihood. Could there be any opportunity where the political class can make laws that will prevent public office holders, the governors, the president, the senators, and their appointees from having or traveling for medical tourism while our own system is shut down? Is there any laws or anything preventing them from making such laws? And that also applies to our education. I am asking Chinedu Peters, the convener of Good Governance Ministry. Thank you.
I want to take it from the angle of leadership, because we all talk about good governance. It's a very popular phrase, good governance, good governance, good governance. But the question is, why are we not getting it in Nigeria? Why is it that after 60 years of independence, we have 100 million people in extreme poverty, and we are now called the poverty capital of the world? You need people who have the character, the sense of sacrifice, that you're not in public office simply for power and to enrich yourself, but to serve the people. And we have one great example in this part of Nigeria, and that was Dr. M.I. Opara, the Prime Minister of the Eastern Region, the Premier of the Eastern Region. He finished all his years of service. He still didn't have a house he built for himself. And I believe I'm correct. And it was when he came back from exile that people put together money to build a house for him. It happened to us, where money has become everything. Some people are so poor that all they have is money. the worship of mammon, as the good book tells us. Money is good, don't get me wrong, but it is a servant, not a master. You don't worship money. That is why the Igbo of Nnewi called me and said, I will give you a traditional title, Ifekego Nnewi. Somebody, immediately he gets into office, is God. He is God. And you must worship him or her, or face the consequence. He or she can do anything and get away with it. That's why you have no accountability. The person that many leaders feel they can trust is a man from their village. Us versus them. So it leads to loyalty versus competence. Not whether he or she can do the job. On one knuckle. And so you have all sorts of mafias. Nnewi mafia, Onitsha mafia, Aguleri mafia, all sorts. It is this thing that is operating. Loyalty versus competence. I'm loyal. And that is what breeds sycophancy. People are human beings. When people worship you, every time they see, they put you on a pedestal. After some time, your head, you begin to actually believe it. Until you leave office. And all those phone calls will stop coming. Because all those people who are worshiping you, they're just in it for something. We tell you that we have to vote for the big party. We have to vote for APC. We have to vote for PDP. Or for a structure. Oh yes, you get a elite structure. You will eat it. So if the APC presents a chimpanzee, you will vote because it's the APC. If the PDP presents an orangutan, you will vote because it's the PDP. But until we begin to look at person before party, we will not get good governance. You've got to look at the person. As we say in the Nnewi,
I will go down in history as the only senator that had all my bills rejected. Think about that, all rejected. And I said, okay, look, let's get serious. I had two very important bills that were very dear to me. One was alternative energy, clean energy, and electric cars. And I said, look, in 2035, ban all combustion engine cars in Nigeria. And I said, if you don't, even the president of Nigeria will buy a second-hand car. Because the cars you drive today, nobody in the world is going to make them after 2035. Biden has just issued a statement that by 2030, 50% of all cars in America must be electric. Now, you would think that if my colleagues did not understand the subject matter, they could have said, the Senate President could have said, okay, step down your bill, we'll come back next week, we'll look at it again. They voted. 108 senators voted against me. They said we produce oil. Oil is becoming extinct. I am from an oil producing area. To argue that oil will sustain your economy is a dumb argument. It's a stupid argument. Even Saudi, they are selling out the gas stations across the world. Now, second bill I had was the right of return. If you look at Israel, anybody with Jewish blood can go back to Israel and get an Israeli passport. My argument was, I said, okay, look, if you were taken from Nigeria as a slave against your will 400 years ago, when they took slaves from Anambra, from Lagos, from Cross River, from Akwa Ibom, the Americans didn't come to us and say, I'd like you to apply for a visa. Please present your passport. We're going to take you on a ship all across there so you can be a slave. They took us away, right? Now you watch them. You watch the Olympics. All of them are black, right? The freight team, all black. All your uncles and grandfathers representing them, becoming famous and great and successful. Yet I come to the Senate and I say, okay, leadership, why don't we bring some of these people back? They are our grandfathers and the children, who can represent us, who can become doctors and lawyers and scientists and help us build a spaceship so we can go to Mars and all that kind of stuff. And again, 108 voted against me. And I'd like to make just a brief comment about our country, Nigeria. Because for some time now, the media houses and the television houses have been besieging me with requests for interviews, and I have consistently said no. And the reason why I have consistently said no is that I'm now of the age that has moved from being sad about the developments in our country to being depressed about developments in our country. I feel a deep concern about what is happening in our country. I do not think that there can be any objective observer, he or she citizen of this country, or any non-citizen of this country who is genuinely interested in this country, who would not share a depth of worrisomeness at the following developments. And here I just want to speak about facts, not opinion. There is no doubt that the present level of insecurity of life and property in the country, with varying numbers of killings, kidnappings, robberies that we read about every day, and human life in Nigeria now seems to worth nothing. You read about people being slaughtered and communities being sacked by what they call bandits, which in my view should be more accurately described as terrorists. And there is no doubt that we have a declining sense of national unity in this country. When I was of the age of many of you here, I would dare say most of you here, because I'm now an old man, you may not believe it, but I'm 88. This was not the country that as a young man I knew and celebrated and was very proud of. But these days, the Nigerian passport, you carry it, once the people see it, they become immediately disdainful and suspicious. And to such an extent that in the course of last week, can you believe it that a Nigerian diplomat was brutally assaulted in Indonesia by immigration officials? I must say that since my return to this country in the year 2000, I have been advocating the restructuring of our present system of governance. I profoundly believe that the present system of governance in Nigeria will take us nowhere. Indeed, it's likely to lead us to a national disaster.
What you just heard are just tips. Because I'll be publishing subsequently full videos of this address that will blow your mind. These are just the highlights of what we have been saying on this platform. It is a confirmation that what we're saying is sinking. And I have to be there so that you know we are not hiding. We are not speaking on the social media. We are out there making impact. If you think that what we say on this platform is not penetrating, you are just joking. It is hitting target. And it is time for you to join this ministry and move this ministry forward. Because that is the hope of a common man. Not just in Nigeria, but in African nations. Move this good governance ministry where we deliver people from oppression of the devil. The devils who are parading in government houses in the name of your governors, senators, and political class. So it is time for us to move this ministry forward. Support this ministry. Join hands to liberate yourself, because nobody will do that for you. It starts with you and I. It starts with moving this good governance ministry. Because when we talk about good governance ministry, people think that you're just talking about a particular people. Or no. It is about humanity, beginning from my homeland, because charity begins at home, by extension to the rest of Nigerian people and Africa as a whole. If there is hope for an average African, it starts with good governance. It is not just for you to sit back home, lament, shout this, and continue to wallow in gullibility that it is not possible to flush these never-do-wells out of corridors of power and liberate yourself. Freedom is not given, freedom is taken. It is time we go out there and take our freedom by force. So, expect more of the content that is coming from this very lecture. It is loaded. Don't miss a thing. I can assure you, your eyes will open. Thank you for watching this far. Like, share, drop your comments. Let me have your opinion. Because I've said all the things you've heard, we have been saying it here. With the solutions, the highlight of the problem, and the rest of them. We have been saying it on this platform. Now it is left for you to join hand and let us make our freedom a reality. Stay safe, my people. Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. All right? Now this ministry must reach the permanent site. And that permanent site, now our freedom.